To look at the book of First Samuel, chapter number 1, verse number 12, that reads as, and it came to pass as he continued praying before Lord that Eli marked her mouth. So my message is there where he says Eli marked her mouth, and this is the story that everybody knows, the story of Hannah, and whereby she came to a point of being distressed, point whereby she's crying to the Lord, whereby she has no child, whereby she's oppressed by Penina, and at the same time we must understand the Bible says, and her womb was closed by God, and there the husband loved her so much, she would be given double portion of everything for sacrifice. She will go to the house of the Lord, she will sacrifice, she will do everything, comes back to the house, but she will still cry and in pain because she did not have a child. But it came to a point whereby one day she says, let me go back to the house of the Lord after every ritual of going there in the house of the Lord and making sacrifices. As she went there alone, she began to pray, she began to cry to the Lord. She cried to the Lord. They said, God, I'll do this and that before you. She cried to the Lord. As she was crying to the Lord, she came to a point whereby her mouth was only moving. And there were no words coming out, but there was only the movement of the mouth. In that moment, the Bible says, and Eli the priest was watching. That is where verse number 12 says, and it came to pass that she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now she was praying, she was giving herself to the Lord, she was in prayer, and Eli marked her mouth. Well, something was not in a good way right there, because I believe Eli heard her praying first, but now she no longer prays, but her mouth is moving. So she now looks at her mouth and says, but this lady is speaking, but I cannot hear what she is speaking. Now, that is the first moment that you need to understand that now, in that moment, there's something that it draws air. It is the mouth that is speaking, but there's no voice that is coming out. That is the first thing. No, I have got people that I understand that you are there, out there. The Lord uses you so much. The Lord does a lot of things. But there is an area where it is not completely happening in its original way, like the mouth moving but there's no voice. You might find out that you are serving but there are no fruits. You might find out that you are doing something but you are not seeing the end results of it. You might be laying hands but people are not getting healed. That there is something that you are doing but there is no outcome of it. That the mouth is speaking but there is no words coming out. So here we need to understand that many of us, we are struggling in things that we are doing them right, but there is no results. We are not seeing the fruits coming out. We are not seeing the fruits of it coming to materialism. We have tried so hard. Now I need you to understand that just as her life was, she had struggled for years, she has prayed for years, she has seeked for years, to the point now that the mouth was now only speaking, but there was no more voice coming out. In other words, now this is what draws Eli to say that, but this woman is doing what is right, but I don't see the result of it. I don't hear what it actually means, what she is actually doing. Now this draws Eli, and Eli was overseeing, was oversighting, was overlooking, was watching him in the moment. I want to say that now, this is my message that talks about spiritual oversight, to say that in everything that you are doing, you must understand that there must be somebody who watches you, somebody who is watching over your life. Because before this moment, we don't hear that Eli was present. Before this moment, we know that they were going to sacrifice, and in the place of sacrifice, there were the children of Eli who were causing abomination before the Lord, and we don't see Eli in that moment. And these children, because of abomination, they will not look at people, they will not oversight people spiritually. But now there comes a place whereby this woman was in her own place seeking the face of God, and while she is seeking God, there is a man of God who is watching him. Now, I want to say this to your life. Every time when you do something, you have a man of God who watches over your life. Because out of the man of God, there must be something good that will come out of it. Out of the man of God, there must be a correction of an error that will come out of it. Out of the man of God, even if they might not understand you, like this issue of Hannah and Eli, there was a misunderstanding, but still, there was a prophetic word that came out of it. This is where my message is. I wanted to teach you today about this oversight of a man or a woman of God over your life that will guide you, and you need that person in your life.